asked me to review Game of Thrones, and here I am. I even brought out my cool Game of Thrones t-shirt for you, so there you go. Before I get into the review, I want to first apologize. I wanted to start my Game of Thrones reviews last week, but then I got sick, and I was sick all week, so I wasn't able to do that. But I'm feeling better. Still a little bit sick, you might hear it in my voice. I still wanted to do this week's review because I'm excited. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is where I stand in terms of Game of Thrones. I haven't read the books, so if you want a review that goes into them, this is probably not it for you, unfortunately. Sorry. However, I have watched the show since season 1 and I love it. Daenerys is my favorite character. Finally, I'm really loving this season. I am even loving it more than season 2, so that's all I had to say. Now, let's get into that 6th episode, The Climb. As always, because there are so many characters, there's a lot of things to talk about, but I'm gonna focus on some key moments that happen in the episode. The first thing I want to mention is Melisandre coming to the Brotherhood without banners to take away Gendry. And poor Gendry had finally found a place that he wanted to stay and, you know, be amongst brothers, and they totally betrayed him. And even sadder is that now Arya, she knew she was gonna lose him because he was gonna stay there, but they like totally took him away from her before she was even ready to say bye to her friends, so now she's by herself. And to make matters worse, I'm kind of afraid of Melisandre. I mean, she is like a scary person. She gave birth to a smoke baby. I don't think that's like a positive thing. I'm just not sure if this is gonna turn out good for anybody. Next thing I want to talk about is poor Theon, still being held captive by we don't know who. I will refer to him from now on as Simon from Misfits. That's how I know him. If you haven't seen Misfits, you should totally watch it because it's an awesome show and he's really good in it too. So Simon from Misfits is still torturing Theon. It's sort of a weird thing that I have watching him because you really hated him in season 2 for everything that he did. He betrayed Robb and he tried to kill Bran and his brother, and so we don't like him. Yet I still feel a little bit bad about what's happening to him. You know, I guess I wanted you maybe to die. I don't know if I wanted you to get tortured that much. I have a feeling he's not gonna last very long, but he's still there. We still don't know what the heck is going on. I hope we figure out by the end of this season. Next thing I want to talk about is Jaime. I used to like Jaime, but I'm really liking him this season, and I especially love his relationship with Brienne. I think he's actually becoming one of my favorites. And it looks like he's finally going back to King's Landing, but without Brienne. And that's a problem because I really like these two together. They've had such a great journey together and I don't want it to end. I think they have great chemistry. You know, who's gonna help him along the way? Especially now that he doesn't have his right hand. That is not cool. And I'm also really worried about what's gonna happen to Brienne. She's gonna be sent back to Robb as a traitor, but that's just one thing. I'm worried about what happens to her before that. It's not looking good. But I'm definitely rooting for Jaime this season. Isn't it weird that I'm almost looking forward to him and Cersei reuniting? I know I shouldn't, but they have great chemistry together. I want to see that reunion scene. That's gonna be some messed up stuff, but it's gonna be awesome. Next big thing that I want to talk about is Lady Tyrell and Tywin making marriage arrangements. These two had the coolest scene trying to marry off their relatives and kind of outdoing one another. Like, well, if you don't let me do this, then I will reveal all about Cersei and Jaime. Well, if you don't do this, I will put him in the King's Guard. Like, you guys are insane. Like, it's like, yeah, you know, it's like you're talking about cattle or something. Or at least that's how they think about their relatives, which is really sad, but it's such a messed up situation, actually. I think Tyrion said what we were all thinking by saying, it's hard to say which of the fourth is getting the worst out of this arrangement. Unlike him, I actually think that Sansa is getting the best end of the deal in terms of who she's marrying, because Loras, I'm not sure that would have worked out really great for her. But you can say a lot of things about Tyrion, but I still feel like he has a good heart. I don't think he would hurt her. He might even protect her. Yeah, she actually protected her against Joffrey before, so I'm kind of happy that she's sort of being put under his wing more than the Tyrell, because I don't know what they would have done with her. And then Loras is not getting the good end of the stick by being married off to Cersei. I don't think that will work out for him very well. I also have to talk about the climb that Jon Snow attempted to do, well actually succeeded at doing. That stuff was insane. It would not be for me. I don't like the cold and I don't like heights. This is like my nightmare. But they did it and it was crazy. I think it kind of forged his bond with Ygritte a little more. It's gonna be interesting to see how their relationship evolves in future episodes. I am keeping my eye on these two. I like them. But more importantly, the climb also signifies the chaos ladder that Littlefinger was mentioning at the end of the episode, which was a great way to end. I never thought of chaos as a ladder, to be honest, and I was like, huh, that's kind of a interesting analogy. And I like that when you started watching the episode, we thought, well, the climb is the actual climb, but it's not just that. It's also this metaphorical climb on the chaos ladder. It's very tragic, actually, and it all ends with poor Roz getting killed by Joffrey. I mean, we had to get a horrible scene with crazy Joffrey in somehow, and yep, this time it was poor Roz who suffered his insanity. So that's pretty much it for this episode. But let's talk about next week. How about I give you some quick thoughts on the preview, like some preview thoughts. So I talked about me liking Brienne and Jaime's relationship, and from the looks of it, things are not really looking good for her. However, I have a feeling Jaime might be coming back for her and helping her out, or rescuing her or something. Maybe I'm just like too positive and Game of Thrones is very usually dark, but I'm still hoping that he goes and helps her out. I just want these two to keep on going on their journey together. I just like them. We didn't get any Daenerys this episode, and I love her. So next week, we're definitely getting more of her and the dragons, which is awesome. It kind of looked maybe we're getting some sort of battle, maybe? We're gonna get more of Theon. I don't know if it's gonna happen next episode, but I'm guessing he's not gonna end up well at the end of the season. Finally, we're also gonna see a little bit more of Gendry, and I have a feeling there's more to him than we know yet, and I wonder if we're gonna find out more about him next episode. So that's about all I had to say for this week. But of course, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on this week's episode, so let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed it, didn't enjoy it, what your favorite scenes were, whatever you want to talk about. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That'll be really cool. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming Game of Thrones review or any of our other reviews. Thanks so much for watching. Bye! What is Hemlock Grove about? Well, it's based on a book by Brian McGreevy, and it focuses on a town called Hemlock Grove. And